Hello, everyone. Welcome into another installment of Transit Weatherman. So, this week we have Venus going into Leo. This is going to be our hearts starting to come in and starting to follow our passions to the fullest. It's about following your bliss, it's about following your heart, and everything else that comes along with that, because the planet of love is going to be going into the zodiac sign that represents the heart, that represents creativity, and represents passion. So, we're going to be getting right into this. Just want to make sure this is there. 1 second. Let me make sure this is pasted. All right. So, yeah, we're getting into it. So, this week we have, like I said, Venus going into Leo. This is going to be the main thing that starts off this new shift that we're going to be heading into. We've just entered into Cancer season. So, a lot of new energies there. So trying to say what's up to everybody. Hello. How's y'all doing? Hey. I'm hit you up later. I got you. But yeah, so we're about to be getting into this time frame. We just finished off eclipse season. Thankfully, we have just finished off eclipse season because this last eclipse season has been absolutely ridiculous. And the reason why it's been so ridiculous is because we have been consistently being hit with new revelations, new realizations, new this. You have probably felt called to do something very integral very recently because of all of these energies. And now we're going to be heading and rushing ourselves into what it is that we're passionate about, into the things that we actually love. And that's a lot to do with this Venus going into Leo as well. You get what I'm saying? Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate y'all being here. Shouts out to everybody who showed up to my full moon and Capricorn class as well. That was a great time. The last eclipse was intense. The last eclipse put me out. I'm not going front. I'm not even going to sit here. I'm not even going to act like anything else. Like, the last eclipse put me in for a loop because it was it was activating my energy a lot. So I had to even take some time off because it was very powerful with this Gemini solar eclipse. And what this was about was making sure that you're in the proper stage and making sure that you're able to speak your truth no matter the circumstance in order to be that. And throughout the solar eclipse season, you also were presented a challenge where you had to actually be honest and be real about something. And if you've passed that integral challenge that the universe has sent during that time frame, I'm more than sure that you've been on the up and up and moving through with all the energies that are at hand as well. What's up, fam tribe? What's up to everybody in here? Appreciate you all for being here. This is a dope time. Let's get it. I know this is I like going on mad random too. It's always sometime Saturday afternoon I like to just go live, and I purposely don't tell y'all what time just because it's let's see who pulls up. Anyway, it's gonna be up when y'all can see it later on IGTV. But yeah, so these energies were super heavy prior. You get what I'm saying? And shouts out to the full moon in Capricorn. Everybody that went to the class, y'all got the full scoop. But just to get a little bit into the full moon in Capricorn, this is about releasing our fears behind what can we create with our legacy, right? It's like the greatest things that are coming to you are already happening. You just don't necessarily see the exact steps of it. And this full moon in Capricorn was trying to show you yo, you got it. But get rid of that fear. Yo, you got it, but let go of that part. Yo, you got it, but don't even worry about this section because there's something coming through. Go on, something great always comes from it. Yeah, and that's the thing. There's some greatness that I think people are really starting to tap into due to this full moon in Capricorn, which has been coming through, smacking up the collective a little bit as far as making sure that people have that. For example, and just using myself as an example. I had to leave a whole corporation that was doing all this stuff like that and then just choose to do things on my own, which was terrifying because I'm oh man, what if nobody wants to show up to my stuff, or oh no, what if nobody wants to, etc. And I was proven so wrong because y'all have been coming through ever since. Y'all have been reaching out to me, really just showing appreciation. So I really do appreciate the love and the capacity of that. But even for myself, just as an example, it was I had to be yo, I can't really just do this. You get what I'm saying? And this full moon was be yo, I can do that. And I hope everyone else in here has also kind of gotten their own invocation from the universe or their own version of this. And I think everyone has, to be honest, because even in a few conversations with people I've had, there's been and I have to catch up with people too. I've been mad busy, but people have been making real transitions in their life. They've been making real transitions. They've been like, yo, this is the thing that I want to do now. They're like, this job ain't treating me right. I want to go do this. They're like, I know that I'm supposed to do this, but that's not my legacy. I know that I'm supposed to do that, but that's not meant for me. And that's what this full moon was trying to like show and formulate, right? Like you have a great potentiality, but in order to reach that potentiality, you need to let go of your fear of being great. And that's what this full moon was all about. And I know it sounds weird and contradictory, but I think that's why it's also important that Venus is going into Leo tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So Venus is going into Leo tomorrow, and that's what this thing, I put that on the pin thing, because like Venus going into Leo is like, all right, so now that you've done that and you got rid of the fear, it's time to shine. Mars been in Leo too, and all throughout my full moon and Capricorn class, Mars and Leo energy just kept popping up. You can still buy the recording if you want to. It's still valid if you want to go purchase that. I will be doing one for the new moon in Cancer. Every new moon and full moon, I still got y'all covered. That is 100% sure. My classes are going to be coming up more in July. I'm going to have a lot more time in July when it comes to the readings and services and everything else. I'll be posting way more, so don't y'all worry, I'm gonna be talking about that. So Venus and Capricorn starting his own business, helping hand. Yeah, so the Capricorns is starting their own business, starting their own thing, an entrepreneurial spirit. Like, you know, we're living in a world where it's like they don't care if you don't make it, that someone else is going to get hired. So you need to start doing stuff on your own. And if you're in a position to make that happen, that's what the full moon of Capricorn is trying to do. Is anyone else feeling super emotional? Yo, this emotion, it's Cancer season. Like this is the season of like going through with your emotions. And I thank you for bringing up that point, because one, the full moon just happened, right? But then two, we're in Cancer season. And Cancer season is an emotional sign, because what is it truly about? Intuition. Because your intuition, your magic, your personal power all stems from your emotion. You get what I'm saying? What is Neptune retrograde going to be about? That's a great question. So I actually, it's like Neptune is a very hard and difficult energy to pinpoint, like directly, because Neptune is just like, so to probably explain it. Like one time I did this YouTube video, like I want to say a year, 2 years back or something, and I was talking about Neptune retrograde, and I think in the Neptune retrograde I was explaining beforehand, I'm like, it's not time for you to like go back on your dreams. You're starting to like come into this full circle. I think Neptune retrograde kind of shows you to like go full circle into like your dream state almost. Like you need to go through the motions. It's like it's the in between of like the dream state, waking up, dream state, waking up. And one thing about Neptune retrograde is that you need to like allow your dreams to kind of float to you, right? I feel like when Neptune is direct, it's almost like, oh, we're pushing forward what we want to make, we're pushing forward what we want to do. But like when Neptune's retrograde, it's like it kind of just comes through and it like will gift you certain things, or it will show you something, or anything along the lines of that. Like it's a different movement as far as how Neptune is going to interact. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I pretty much sense when it comes to that. Let me just make sure I'm reading everything. My emotions are my power. You've been loving, feeling emotional, and focused at the same time. That is what this full moon of Capricorn was about. Can you have your full emotions but still be focused? Like that. Perfect. Like the axis of Capricorn and like Cancer is literally that, right? So that's something that's really important in this process. It's time to be emotional, shutties, and ride the wave. Say, let's do what you got to do. But honestly, like that's pretty much it. It's like riding the wave. Be like in that feeling, because those emotions are your power. Do not let them control you, but allow them to show you where the next part is. Allow them to reveal to you what's the next step for you to take. You get what I'm saying? My dreams have been bad. What does that mean? My life is haywire. Bad dreams doesn't mean that you're like. Bad dreams don't mean that your life is going to go haywire. Sometimes, and a lot of the times, when I hear about these bad dreams, it's because there's things that have to, people have to work through. You get what I'm saying? Like there's certain things that people have to like legitimately just work through over time. And sometimes the dream world is the easiest way for spirit to like reach you. If you're super busy in real life, sometimes you'll be starting to dream and spirit will be like, you get what I'm saying? Everyone has their own rendition of how that's going to work. But at the end of the day, that's part of it. And I don't think there's anything bad that's going to happen from that. It's just overall, that's the vibe. But Let me get a little bit more into this week. I talked about Neptune retrograde a bit. Let me talk about Jupiter retrograde again a bit, and then we're gonna actually like go through to the rest of this week, right? So with Jupiter going retrograde too, right? Jupiter retrograde, both in Pisces, by the way. So we have Jupiter, which is both planets of spirituality, of heavy and major spirituality, have just went retrograde in the most spiritual and most connected to the universe sign of Pisces, right? And I think this has everything to do with the eclipse season that happened. The universe literally just pulses. Like the way the astrology even works is that it's very like everything one time. For every one change, there's already another reaction happening, and it's all to kind of like keep the collective on its toes and keep us all like making the right and proper changes for ourselves on an internal level, but also in our real life time frame, right? So with Jupiter being retrograde, and also Neptune retrograde, we're revising our spiritual selves. Our spiritual selves were going crazy during this eclipse season, right? Now they're taking a break. And now it's like, okay, they're taking a break. Now, what are you going to do to restore all this faith within yourself? What are you going to do to restore all of this spirituality within? What are you going to restore when it comes to you getting into your highest good, right? Because that's what a lot of this rules is like. What's your highest good? The collective is building 100%. Break down these the way you do is so relatable. I mean, that's my, like, as an astrologer personally, the way that I go about it, coming up, like, as I was watching a bunch of astrology stuff all across the board from all these different astrologers and everything else like that, I'm gonna keep it a stack. That shit was boring as hell. So I was like, because I'm like people are talking about stuff and I'm like, I really want to understand this, but no one is breaking this down in a way where like I can relate to it. You get what I'm saying? Like no one's breaking this down in a way where I'm like, oh, everything else. Thankfully for me, I ended up finding some like black astrologers on YouTube and such like that. Shouts out Peace Dealer Dolo, people like that. But like they explained it in a way that made sense to me, right? But I'm trying to get to a point where let's get more universal with it, because these phases happen, and I use funny analogies and I use silly analogies and such like that because it helps the ear, and like I'm a goofball, I'm a sag. This is what we do. But it really does help like people to like understand what's going on. And there's been a lot of people that have thankfully come to classes of mine and etc., knowing no astrology at all and leaving knowing how to read people's birth charts. So like it's really cool to be in this position to like help with y'all as far as like learning this stuff as well. So like I really do appreciate everybody here for sure, 100%. By the way, sidebar, please be sure to check out the link in my bio. I will be adding more like classes, and I will be adding more like readings and such like that as well in this upcoming month. So like I said, please stay tuned. All my readings and services are also going to be right through the link, and the full moon of Capricorn recorded class if you want to, but it's whatever. Check it out. I'm gonna have way more stuff soon. Super excited. But once more, this is a lot of revision for all of us, right? And I haven't even gotten into the week yet. We're just talking vibes. like we are literally just talking vibes right now. But I think that's what's most important when it comes to this as well. I always recommended black astrologers to my friends wanting to get into it. Some people think that they have to be super well versed to understand. No, you just need to find the right person that like makes it understandable. My goal is to make sure that like people can understand this on a regular level, and then for my people that are super geeky about it, that's when I'm like whatever. That's when that's fun. But like, you get what I'm saying? Appreciate you for being here. I know there's some day one supporters in here. Trust, like that's why it's so crazy to me, because I'm like, man, I've been doing this like live stuff for like a year pretty much, but it's like some of y'all have been here, and I looked back at a couple comments and I'm like, yo, some of y'all really have been here this entire time, and I can't be like more grateful 100%. So but Venus and Leo too, all about the heart. You get what I'm saying? Even me right now, I'm getting like, man, like so much love, and I'm gonna always do that because like that's just part of me. But this is the thing, right? And the sun in the ninth loves your content. I have my sun in the ninth, so that's probably I'm literally like, this is what I'm supposed to do. So like so I appreciate y'all for being here for this. The best analogies for us to learn. I appreciate it 100%. So let's look a little into the week. just so I don't get like super sidetracked and start talking about like anything else that has nothing to do with astrology. But when it comes to like this upcoming week, today we have Mars making its sextile to the North Node, right? So Mars making its sextile to the North Node. This is about getting and starting to implement the proper moves as far as gaining opportunity to tap closer into your destiny. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes to this type of energy and when it comes to this vibe, this is about you making the right decisions to I'm picturing like a planting, like this is like somebody literally going out to like plant a seed in a garden like for the first time, and as you're digging up the soil, people are like, what are you doing? Nothing grows there, and you're like, shut up, I got this. And you do that, and then like boom, beanstalk. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the type of vibe when it comes to this. You're stepping in to like the first inklings of like what's going to go on with your destiny. As I'm literally recording this, I am in a class. I'm literally like my Sagittarius ass is in a class while I'm talking to y'all. And I'm just like, woo. But on the real, it's like, you know, you had to make the proper moves for like getting into that. You know what I'm saying? Starting a 30-day cleanse July 1st. Congratulations. That's super dope. I should probably do one at some point, but like we will see. I will at some point, but life, you know what I'm saying? But appreciate y'all. But like I said, this is the time frame to start making the proper moves and start making the proper like steps towards what it is that you actually want to go about. So when I talk about this node stuff, check for your North Node in your chart, because I know the North Node is in Gemini, but I want people to really start thinking where it's like you need to utilize your North Node. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you need to utilize your North Node, because you already have your South Node going for you at all times. It is your backup energy. When you're down and out and you're like, I can barely do anything else, and you're just crawling, whatever the case is, your South Node still got your back, and it will always pull through, right? But working towards your North Node, and like, I know there's a bunch of controversy, yada, yada, yada. I don't care what people say. This is what I'm explaining from this, because it's like, by going towards that North Node and then utilizing that South Node in this process is how you start to bridge in your destiny. So when I'm talking about this North Node and I'm like, oh, this is working with destiny, go work on your North Node. Because although I'm talking about the overall one, this is like, it for me, it just feels like it signifies other people to go about this. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, so with that being said, let's get to this like next bit, which is going to be the Venus in Leo, which is going to happen tomorrow. Back to Venus in Leo. This is a great time for like the romantic shooty shots. So if Venus went into Leo and you wanted to go ahead, honestly, I feel like Venus in Leo is the hot girl summer, like spark off. You get what I'm saying? Like if there was a spark off for like late hot girl summer. Summer has officially started with the summer solstice last week. We're now in Cancer season. So I feel like the Venus in Leo is going to start basically making everyone like, hello, it's me. Hi, I'm blah, 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 blah. You get what I'm saying? So there's going to be a little bit more, you know, I don't even know, just a little bit. It's a little bit more of that, like in the collective, right? What does it mean to work towards our North Node? That is a great question. Actually, a lot of my work kind of stems around this, and I honestly want to like start diving into like more of the North Node stuff in my work for people specifically, because the North Node is the one thing, like, if you can literally be like, yo, I don't believe in astrology, but I'd be like, if you learn your North Node, you're already like a solid way there. You get what I'm saying? Someone said flirtation loading. I mean, like with Venus and Leo, it's that feel good feel. Like, you ever like actually look in the mirror and like you just like, you can even not even look great at it, but you be like, what's up? That's what Venus and Leo is about. Keep that same energy the whole time. And it's going to end on July 21st. So this is a whole like month and some change time frame where it's like, yo, get in the back. And Mars is still in Leo. People need to start doing what they're passionate about. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. So about the North Node part, right? Just to premise that for everybody. When I was talking about the North Node is your destiny point of your chart. And of the collective right now, it's in Gemini, hence the eclipses that we just had and the super intensity that we just had. So when you think about your North Node, think about that as like the eclipse energy of your chart in a certain sense. You get like, I know that's not the proper way to explain it, but as far as the gravitas behind it, like that is your North Node. So when you find your North Node in your chart, That's going to be, what do you need to do, what energy do you need to start to tap into, start to emulate, start to wire into your own life, that's going to guide you into the best of things. Because as you start to follow your north node, you start to unlock these next parts and these next steps, and your guys are there and everybody's there and they're like supporting you as you go about it, and it's pretty fire. So definitely like look into your north node if you haven't before. I actually have a service called Your Destiny, Past Life, Aura, and Origin, which I'm going to be like working on to make it like way better for everybody else too over this. Trust me, I got a lot in store for y'all. Please keep staying tuned, because it's gonna be, I'm just getting started. It's gonna be a fun time. But yeah, so is the house or the sign more important for finding your north node? I'm gonna keep it a stack. Your house is more important. For your north node, your house is more important than the sign. As a matter of fact, for your chart period, the houses are more important than the signs, low key. But that's a whole other topic for a whole other time. But it really is more important, because the houses show like where these things are happening, and then the sign is like the flavor of like how that thing is happening. You get what I'm saying? If you're a South Node Gemini, does a North Node Gemini transit work against you? No, but you also have to pay, like, no, but also you have to realize that the axes are flips. So you're going to have to do things that feel opposite to what you would naturally want to feel, because that's where that's going to be at if you have that specifically. But that's all. That gets deep. I don't want to get too deep into other people's like chart stuff and like lose where we at. But that's basically how that ends up going in this process. Word, my fault. I'm looking at the class that I'm half taking as I'm doing this. But with that being said, right? What's up to everybody just popping in? This is dope, yo. Word, we in here. We really doing this, aren't we? This is pretty fire. But let's get to the next part. So now we're getting into Monday. Word. So Monday we have the moon in Pisces making its conjunction to Jupiter retrograde. So remember how I was just mentioning all that Jupiter stuff, all that Neptune stuff? The reason why I had to premise that beforehand is because the moon's going to be hitting there for the first time since these things just went retrograde. So now we're going to be like, it's less of you pushing forward. Like, so when Jupiter went into Pisces, everybody's like thought and everybody's like everyone that had like a dream started already seeing it, and they were going in and they're like, yo, it's right in front of me. Like, this is so crazy. Like, I never, like, imagine someone wanted a tissue box like their whole life. They're like, yo, I got a tissue box, yo, this is crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they're having like the craziest time ever. And then next thing you know, Jupiter goes retrograde, and they're like, I had that tissue box, but now what if it was only this one tissue? And then there's like this whole like, was there ever a tissue box to begin with? Yes, there was a tissue box. You still have it. You just can't see it right now because it's in retrograde. It's like a weird thing. And because Neptune also rules illusion. So imagine you still have that tissue box you always wanted. I know this is a stupid analogy, but like, I'm a Sag. Let's have fun with it. I know this is like imagine you had this tissue box there the whole time, right? But it just turned invisible. That is what Neptune retrograde and Jupiter retrograde is kind of about. Like, it's still there, and then you're like, yo, what's going on? And by the time these both go direct, you're gonna look back to where the tissue box used to be like, man, I really kind of wish that tissue box. And then you're gonna see it, and it's just gonna be made of like solid gold, or like whatever your favorite like material is. It's gonna be like 3 times the size. It's just gonna be like, whoa, how did that happen? It's like, sometimes you're not supposed to see your blessings as they come to you, but that's why they're gonna hit you the way that they do. If you knew every great thing that was about to happen to you, you'd just be like, and like, you want to do shit. Like, you want to do anything. You would literally just be like, damn, something nice is happening at 250. I guess I should just, not do anything until then. Like, nah, like, you're still supposed to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Being aligned with our purpose and goals, no matter what we think we can or cannot see. Being willing to shift as we stay aligned with our vision. Facts. Or every bad thing. Facts. And I don't even like to think of things as like this good or bad, because it's literally a handful of times. Do not get me wrong. There's some messed up shit that be happening. But what I am trying to get at is that, like, when it comes to like just regular stuff, like, oh no, like when it comes to like regular everyday run of the mill things, like, I don't think there's like good or bad when it comes to that. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh no, I got to the grocery store too late. I'm so bad. How did I miss the grocery store being open? Like, you're fine. You can go in the morning and you gonna be alright. You could probably find a gas station that's open and you could find it. Is it going to be like, do you want to go to the random gas station to get the thing? Maybe not, but it's still there. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're still able to do it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, when I think of this like good and bad, like back and forth, it's like, yo, it's really what you make of it. And that's why even when I do chart readings and such like that, for any of y'all who have gotten a chart reading, I know a handful of you do. Like, a lot of people be like, can you tell me what's good in my chart and what's bad in my chart? Like, I want to know all these good or bad things. And I'm like, yo, it has nothing to do with that. Like, although your astrology will show you where your talents and your energies are at, is literally up to you as far as like how you're going to use them. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's the part of the whole free will idea and debate. I'm a Sag. I have a lot of thoughts about a lot of things, and at a certain point in this thing, I will have a lot of opinions to be talked about. But I want to talk with y'all about it, etc., etc. But you know what I'm saying? Like, tarot is all the double-edged sword. Facts. It's a positive. It could be bad. But like, most of the things that you deem as bad, and you're like, man, that was so bad, were like legitimate blessings in disguise. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this thing didn't work out with that. Like, what does this mean? And it's like, then something bad happens at that thing. And if you were there, you would be screwed, and whatever the case is, and blah, blah, blah. So most of the time when these things happen is literally just to like bring you into the next portion. And I know this kind of has like, I know that y'all still here because I'm still kicking like the energies and stuff like that. But the Virgo in me is just like, I need to use all my notes. But in reality, this is the astrology for this upcoming week. So as I'm saying like random stuff and like whatever, like, this is what's kind of coming through, and it's going to happen in your own different way. Don't get me wrong, but I do want to kind of just explain the astrology overall, so you can see what's happening on that note, and then as you know your chart, you can see what's happening in your chart with that, right? The schedule, yeah, you get what I'm saying? It's just like, I try, but it's not 100% me. You know, I'm still a triple fire sign. It be like that. My reading was pivotal for you and propelling you through being stuck. I really do appreciate that, honestly. Like, because that's what it's for. Like, what's the point of knowing all this shit if I can't help other people understand how this works? Like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like what is the point? There are literal movies that I've seen, especially on the anime tip, or like on an animated like cartoon tip, where there's just some dude who's so strong and he's just like, nobody else is stronger than me. He's like, I just need to find someone stronger than me so they can defeat me because I'm tired of beating everybody's ass. Like, what? Like, you could have just taught somebody else how to be nice too, and then you could just spar with them and you would have been chilling. But you're like, no, I'm the strongest. And like you get what I'm saying? Like, that's just my personal thing. Yes, I am triple fire. It be like that though. But yeah, so. Also check out Is That Too Much by Maverick Star on all streaming services. You talking about One Punch Man? Not specifically One Punch Man, but One Punch Man is my dude. I only watched the first season though, but like the second season did not look cool, but the first one was fire. Not the point. What I'm saying is when it gets to like everything, I appreciate y'all because I'm really just like, we just parlaying, like we just kicking it. We all here. What's up? If you're watching a live stream, you here with us too. It's still the same energy. It's still the same vibe. But getting into this next part where, so, blah blah blah. Okay, now Wednesday. Let's get into Wednesday. So when it comes to Wednesday, right, we have the moon making its conjunction to Neptune, and that's when things get. You know what I'm saying? So like, when the moon goes into Neptune, once more, this is like wishes being fulfilled that you aren't even knowing are being fulfilled. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like man, I did think about that thing like before eclipse season, and now it's starting to actually happen. And you're like, wait, this is starting to actually happen. You're like, wait, this is starting to actually happen. That's what the moon and Pisces is about. But before these things happen, you need to let go of that shit that don't work. You need to let it go. Let it go. I know it's easy for me to say because it's like I'm not living this experience that you're living. Yeah, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows. Nobody knows what anyone's really going through. But at the end of the day, you gotta let it go. Because when you let it go, careful what you wish for. Facts. As a matter of fact, that's why during eclipse season, I was trying to tell y'all, don't try to do, like, just leave it alone. I was like, just leave it alone. And I hope y'all did. And if you didn't, and if it worked for you, congratulations. I've just heard a lot of the latter, and I'm like, I wouldn't suggest it to everybody. You feel me? Circles Wednesday in the calendar. Also, Wednesday's going to be a kind of chill day, though. Actually, as a matter of fact, once the moon hits that, like, Neptune portion, it's basically just void for the rest of the day. So Wednesday is going to be more of a chill day. So try and find some time to relax if you can. You know what I'm saying? Oh, for real, just rest and shut your mouth on eclipses. Facts. Just because. Oh. you just gotta let it roll. You just gotta let it roll. So yeah, now let's get to. All right, so Thursday. Let's get to Thursday. So we're gonna be at the half moon phase at this point. One thing about this with the moon in Aries, the moon will be a conjunct Chiron later on in that evening, right? And every time the moon hits Chiron coming up, there's going to be something that you need to heal through. Straight up. I've been studying Chiron very extensively for a handful of different reasons. But the reason why I'm like looking at it like this is because like Chiron in Aries is to like make us more of ourselves. And every time the moon is literally going to pass through Aries for the next however long, it's going to be a grip. Like a grip. So every time I'm in Aries, I'm basically just like, so Chiron. Because like this is the energy that's trying to make sure that you get into the strongest part of your own identity, the strongest part of your own soul. You get what I'm saying? Tell us more about Chiron is. I'm going to have a what's it called? I'm going to be having a Chiron class. All my classes coming up are through me. So I'm going to be going dummy hard. If y'all haven't seen this, if you gotten readings from me personally or anything else like that, y'all know I go off when I get to just, which is also why sometimes I'll be like, yo, let me get a couple days, because by the time I do, and this is the whole idea with the classes too. So with my classes, I don't hold nothing back at all. like if there's something that pops up in my mind about whatever it is, I'm gonna let y'all know, and it's up for y'all to continue to research. I have my own premise. I've studied a bunch of stuff, and I can tell you one thing, but you also need to figure out your own rendition of what that means for you. So even with me talking about these transits, like I'm right probably most of the time, but you also need to get to like your own rendition of like what's going on as well. And what I strive to do is, so when I'm like Moon and Pisces conjunct this, you know what I'm talking about offhand, and you're like, you already had an idea of what this is. When are these classes, and are they on Zoom? They will be on Zoom most likely, because I hate Google Meet, so it will be on Zoom. And they're going to be coming in July, so keep on the lookout for July, because I'm gonna have way more classes, and all my classes are going to be recorded. So even if you miss it for whatever reason, they're going to be recorded. You can hit me up at any time. I can send it over to you after you purchase it. Just literally send me a picture of your order number and what you just got, and I will send it to you literally just like that. So it's all good. You feel me? But yeah. Also, for anyone looking for services or readings and want to get the literal snot read out of their chart, hit me up. I have all my chart readings in my description and all of that, right? So getting back into the week a little bit. July is the perfect month. Sailors. Nah, yeah, I'm going off in July because I'm like, I got things to do. I got things to do. But July, I gotcha. So now we're getting to Friday, where much love. Shouts out to Viv with the snip feed link. Shouts out to snip feed with the making all that. You're gonna be busy reading. I'm gonna be reading. I know it's gonna be a fun time. Can't wait. Now we're going to Friday, right? So on next Friday coming up, we have Mars and Leo making its trine to Chiron and Aries. Remember how I said the moon in Aries is about healing that? Mars and Leo in trine to Chiron and Aries is aggressively going to have you heal the inner part of your child, like aggressively. And it's not a bad thing. This is like you going back and like watching like a movie from your childhood and being like, I remember what it felt like to be young. or whatever. I don't know, whatever y'all do with your life. But what I'm saying is, right, like this is like the feeling and the vibe that ends up like coming in with that at hand. So just to kind of like peep y'all about what's coming up with all that. And then I'll basically be on here next Saturday again, talking about everything else. But the moon will be in Taurus by then. I will be talking about that when the moon's in Taurus and stuff. And now this is the part where I've done all the astro stuff. So anything else after this might not be anything important. I still kind of drop gems after this, but I do want to like let y'all know in case y'all got to do something or everything else like that. Go ahead and do that. If you do watch this and you have watched this on the live stream, please make sure that you go to the IGTV afterward and like hit the like. And apparently now for like creators and stuff like that, you're supposed to hit the bookmark button because that's like the new like or something. I don't know. Marketing is annoying, but regardless, if you see this this live stream again afterward and you see it up on the page, just make sure you hit like, share it over to some friends who might need to hear a little bit for their week. Make sure you hit the bookmark just because like apparently that's more important now. I have no idea, but regardless of the case, right? Thursday is your birthday. Happy birthday to Dane Tester coming up. What's up? Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hey, just want to stay in and watch I Know What You Did Last Summer, so do it. IG be making it complicated these days. Facts. Like, just give me my swipe up button. Like, it's not that serious. Like, why do I gotta be extra? Like, I'm not in this for followers. I'm in this to like help people out. I don't care about that. Like, I just want to swipe up just so people could just be like, oh, cool. That's it. That's all I want. So IG, send me the swipe up. Like, I'm not being a hoe for followers. I don't care. Like, I'm here for the people. I don't like all that other stuff, whatever. Just hit me this swipe up to make it easier for my people. That's all I ask. That's all I want. IG, y'all featured me on creators. Hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all featured me before. You know, y'all. You know, hear me out, man. Hear me out. Nah, but nah, everything is complicated these days. Facts. That's why it's like it's wild. But that's why I follow you. Much love. Nah, that's real. That's real. That's real. I be really just rambling about astrology and spirituality and sometimes yelling about it. And y'all like to see it. So thank y'all. On the real, you know what I'm saying? One day in the future, we'll all be able to like actually like link up in real time and like in person and like all just kick it. And it's not even going to be like just me talking. I just want everybody to like band together. Because like as there was about 30 plus people in here beforehand. If we was all in the same room together, that's a lot of different people learning a bunch of different stuff from one another just from us just being in the same space. You get what I'm saying? That's some Age of Aquarius type shit that we added into. So like that's why it's like these are really important. Not just for like myself, but you even catching other lives of other creators. You catching other lives of like other things because eventually like that's what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Like it's about community, and that's what Cancer season is about too. It's about the community, the family, and that's about like the soul family, which I always akin the fourth house to. Like yes, it's your bloodline and it's your ancestry, but in my personal opinion, the fourth house also represents your soul family, as well as the 11th house with the community that you might be within that soul family. Not the point, or even like the starseed origin stuff. That's a whole other thing for a whole other different time. Like I said, stay tuned. But yeah, welcome in as people who just came in. We kind of at the end of this, but like, what's up? Appreciate you popping in. It's going to be up on IGTV afterward. I'm just like talking at this point. I'm literally in a class right now. I'm literally like in a class as I'm doing this, which is mad funny to me as I'm like looking back and forth, and you know, it'd be like that though. All right, cool. I have nothing else important to say, so at this point, you're just here for entertainment value. So I don't feel like ending it yet. So this is just how it goes. How's everybody doing? How's everyone's week been? You know what I'm saying? How's everything been going with y'all? You feel me? Check out the podcast. I'm down to be on whatever podcast. Like, I'm down to be on whatever podcast. If you an astrologer or whatever, like, hit me up. See if we can make something happen. But I'm not gonna be able to do it like ASAP. That's the only thing. Like, give me like some time, and I want to link with like all your favorite people and be on podcasts and do stuff. So yeah, you got your first tarot card and book, congratulations. That's fire. That's fire. That's fire. That's fire. The tarot card book, my biggest suggestion about tarot, I will be teaching tarot again too soon, not immediately, but I will be doing tarot classes in like a legitimate like tarot introduction 101, the real facts. No, I don't fluff shit. I think that's why y'all bang with me, because I don't fluff it. Like I can't stand the like we're just going to fluff everything up, or we're just gonna pretty it up, even though like there's no substance behind it. I can't stand that. It irks me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like no fluff, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? I feel you need to bond with your cards. So here's my suggestion that someone mentioned in my tarot class at the time frame, which was super dope. If you're starting off a tarot deck, they said that you can audition your deck. So basically, like when you first like pull from the deck, you can be like, hey, what energy is this deck going to help me like work through, or etc. Pull that one card, and then that'll kind of help you with that. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, outside of that, I'm about to dip out because I've been talking too much, and I'm literally in the middle of a class, so I should probably pay attention. But outside of that, much love to you all for showing up. And until next time, y'all have a great one. Stay beautiful, stay blessed, and all that good stuff. And see you soon. Peace.